Welcome back to the Madison podcast, where we sit down with people rewriting the rules of growth and leadership. Today's guest is Shaughnessy Dusling, a powerhouse real estate broker from Long Island who's closed over 475 homes and built her business on grit, authenticity, and a little bit of humor. She went from navigating personal challenges to becoming one of the top agents in her market, and she's here to share her mindset, the lessons and mantras that made it possible. Get ready for real talk, practical wisdom, and some bold truth. Let's jump in. Shaughnessy, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for coming. Are you ready?
I'm really freaking ready.
Okay, we're open. All the secrets are coming out. You're going to teach us everything that we need to know to close an average of 43 homes per year.
I don't know if you can teach that. You have to have that inherently in you, but I'm an open book, and I'm happy to share what I've done.
It's my job to withdraw it. So that's on me.
Sounds good.
What do you think of the mantra, kindness is free? What does that mean to you?
A year and a half ago, I changed brokerages at a very tumultuous time in my family's life. My father was very, very ill, and I was not looking for a new company whatsoever. There was some stuff going down at my old company that was less than desirable, and I was presented Real Broker from a friend, and I was looking at their slide deck, and one of the slides just simply said, work hard, be kind on it. And that to me was like super eye-opening, because I was sitting at my desk and I look at my wall, and I've had this poster since I started selling real estate. It says work hard and be kind.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's interesting. Let me look at this a little harder, because I vibe with that.
So what did that mean to you?
I think if you could be the most successful person in the world, but if you're a jerk off, that I have no respect for you.
It's quite interesting that you say that in a business like ours, where what you just described is common, right? It's egos, and I don't feel that having an ego, like, you have to have a healthy amount of ego. You can't have people walk all over you, but life is much more enjoyable if you're kind, right? Like, being successful and a dick, as you basically said, no fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're the people that are not being kind have to live with themselves and the choices they make, and it might be a good choice to move up in life, but at the end of the day, when they're on their deathbed and nobody wants to be around them, it's on them. Yeah. So I always try to be kind first. My grandmother and my mother both said, before you say anything, think about, is it nice? Is it kind? Is it true? And does it help anybody? Right. And I try very, very hard to be very mindful to live life like that. And I think that I have instilled that in both of my children. And
how many?
I have two. I have two girls, 16 and 14.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Navigating driving is so scary. I try to lead with kindness, and I have found that it's just something that people vibe with, but also it's something that they seek out. And it's been nice, and I will continue to do that for the rest of my career. And the day that I don't do that is probably going to be
I was going to ask before, because you re-saw this quote a year ago, right? So did you feel like before that you weren't kind, or it was more like a reinforcing type
No, it was just reinforcing that it was just reinforcing that the way that my soul has approached life does have other people that find that to be leading their lives. And it was kind of just like a beacon for me of like, maybe let me look at this a little closer, because maybe there are people that do have the same kind of alignment, and how would I feel in an environment that aligned better with me?
So do you feel by taking that approach to life that you have attracted people who are essentially the same, right? Yeah. And whether that's in friendships or in business, that, the people that you're working with are kinder, sweeter, more understanding, easier to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. I am a firm believer of your vibe attracts your tribe.
100%.
And
I've actually never heard that before. I'm a little
That's
embarrassed.
like an American thing.
Yeah, I've been here for 22 years.
Okay, so you should hear it by now.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, okay. But in all sincerity, I am so unabashedly myself that people that don't align with me are immediately repelled right? And the people that do align are like, drawn. It's like magnetism, right? The back of a magnet, the opposite polarity repels
the
it.
people that are repelled, do you feel that they're repelled so quickly because you just see through their bullshit?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
You feel like they ever try and convince you otherwise? Like, I'm a nice person after all, Shaughnessy, accept me, like type thing?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes people don't have the best intention in relationships or business relationships, and people are trying to move forward in whatever their goals are, and sometimes they think that you're a vehicle, but I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, but also...
Do you have a specific example?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just, as a kid, I was very different. I was into theater. I'm very dramatic.
Yes.
I'm very outspoken.
I wanted to ask you about that.
I went to a really small school. I graduated with 98 kids, so individuality kind of wasn't a thing. I didn't really feel like I belonged.
Really?
Really, yeah. And so that was my individual experience. And then I went to college in Manhattan.
Very different.
Very different
Wow.
for theater. And, the theater world is rough, and I'm very tall and a larger girl and a lot of typecasting, so my talent didn't always work out for what I was hoping for. So I just felt like a lot of times through life, I just felt like I didn't have a community, so to speak.
Right.
So over the years, as I stopped giving fucks what people think, I just kind of said, you know what, fuck it. If you don't want to vibe with me, I don't want to vibe with you. Let's go. Like, bye. And so just that mentality. And then getting divorced, having kids, recreating myself as who, not just being a mom, but being myself again, and figuring out who that was and being really, really sure of who I was, gave me a lot of strength. And then I've created or attracted the most wonderful, most supportive community. I have the best friends I could ever imagine right now. And they've lifted me up. And, so I look back like 11 years ago where I was, or even before that, I'm like, wow, I've come really far. This is cool.
I'd like to dive deeper on this because I think it's something a lot of people will resonate with, including myself. So when you reinvented yourself, what was essentially the catalyst? And we can leave this for afterwards, but it's a key one, is that people find it difficult to make friends later in adult life, right? You don't have the same circle, school, hobbies, whatever it is that you do. How did you go about attracting and finding those really, really great friends as well, and essentially creating community? And I ask because one of the books that I try to live my life on is it's a very short book. It's called Ikigai. Have you heard of it?
What's it called?
Ikigai.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's written by two guys. It's basically about these Japanese people who live till 120 and they're super happy and healthy and all that stuff. And part of what makes these people so happy is something that you just brought up, which is community. It's probably the main ingredient, and the happiest people that I know and most successful also have that, and they make a conscious effort to build community as well. So I'd love you to, in whatever order you choose, so I'm like dive in on each of those if you would, please.
For real estate, my community has been how I do the volume of a business. Right. So I love the shit out of my people. Yeah. So if I could help them in any which way that's not necessarily real estate capacity, I'm there, you know. I love on them. I love on their kids. I support, all the kids call me to buy the Girl Scout cookies. Oh, yeah? I'm buying so many cookies. But people have like weird scenarios. I had a client call me because he got picked up by ICE. And he's like, can you help me find an attorney? I'm like, yep, on it.
Holy shit. What was that like? terrifying.
Obviously horrible.
Yeah.
But he's back home now, which is cool.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, but like that was the most random phone call, and I was like, I don't know why you're calling me, but I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's how they see you.
A connector.
You're the resource to get things done,
yeah.
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so COVID taught me a lot of lessons. You know, a lot of people always say that there's like a lot of negatives that came from COVID, but I actually feel personally there was a lot of really positives that came from COVID. For me, I realized how amazing of a community I actually had built, because when we were forced to be isolated, I was never really truly isolated. And you know, I was grocery shopping for my elderly clients.
Oh, wow.
You know, donned the mask and whatever, and like bringing them groceries for weeks. So they're never going to use another realtor.
Right. But let's reframe that really quick, because a lot of people will listen to that and be like, I just have to go above and beyond. And I'm sensing more of an underlying foundation to it, is that you're not doing it out of agenda.
No.
You're doing it because you love them. These are your people. It's your community. So it's not transactional at all.
No, never. It's never about the transaction. It's about being a good human. It's about being kind. It's about advocacy when they need it, in whatever capacity that might be, whether it be making the connection of introducing them to a different advocate, or going to the supermarket for them, or whatever it is, you know, hugging them when they're having a breakdown over whatever. COVID, to go back to that topic, I was constantly grinding, working nonstop, just really Michael Phelpsing it, not looking up. And then all of a sudden they're like, you have to stay home. And I had just closed on this 130-year-old home that needed a ton of work.
For yourself?
For ourselves,
oh, wow.
So now here I am with my 2 kids and my husband and our dog. Well, we didn't have a dog at the time, the cats. And I'm like, oh, free time.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm like hanging off the roof, painting shit, like doing all the things that like are fueling my soul. And I realized that I don't need to work as hard as I was, and I need to enjoy my life and enjoy my family and my friends and like have experiences and do things. So COVID kind of forced that, but then it made me like reprioritize everything. And so now I take a ton of vacations and do like
small little ones
and big ones. Yeah, like maybe like 10 vacations a year, which sounds insane.
To me, it doesn't.
It sounds amazing, right?
It sounds incredible, and it sounds very purposeful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And like there's only a few things in your life that you can control, right? You can't control what happens to you,
right?
But you can control your choices and what you do and your actions, and you can control how you react to what happens to you. That's it. So, you know, I stopped worrying about all of the things that I couldn't control and just focused on the things that I could, and then just all this abundance came.
Even with more vacation time, so I'm going to give my theory, and then I want you to correct me. Okay. It's pretty simple. It's just by going on, whether it's vacations or even, let's say, hobbies for yourself, I'm assuming you just generally have more energy, and that when you're here, you have more to give, right? Because you don't feel drained, and you're like, for instance, not every day, because we all have off days, but I would assume that most of your days, because you feel so recharged and fulfilled because of the other aspects of your life, allow you to essentially sprint in business every day and make things very clear for you.
No corrections needed.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Living with intentionality made things so much easier, right? As a mom and as a female in business, like often we're pouring from an empty cup. And if your cup's empty, like, what are you doing? You know?
And that's your way of refilling the cup, essentially.
Yeah. I chased Dave Matthews Band around the country,
and
nice. Actually to other countries with my best friend. And
how many of those are you?
This year, I've seen him 10 times
Oh,
already.
wow.
Yeah.
So those are the 10 vacations?
No. Luckily, he plays the Northeast a lot, so it's like driving here. But no, it's like fun stuff. I take the kids to Disney World. My husband and I always try to get on a vacation, just the two of us. Yeah. My parents love to come on vacation with us. So.
That must make things easier with kids, too. This way you guys can relax a little bit as well, I'm sure.
My kids are chill as hell.
Yeah.
So 16 and 14.
Yeah, so it's easier.
Yeah.
I'm
very blessed with that.
I'm be there in a few years. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I know the beginning is the hardest, is what I'm told.
Yeah.
What I wanted to also dive into, well, actually, there are a few questions that I want to come back to, but how the fudge do you balance, essentially everything? And when I mean everything, I'm not just talking about, because a lot of people, have their family life, their vacation life, their friends, etc., but they don't have the level of success. An average of 43 transactions a year is tremendous. It is, or maybe it was 46. How do you balance being an outlier in the business, right? Because most people think, in order to be there and be there consistently, which you've done, you have to sacrifice. So was there a period of sacrifice and then you learned how to balance it, or you kind of went from the very beginning in a very even flow?
No, I mean, it's really hard to start a real estate career.
Yeah.
It's very hard. Starting something from nothing is the hardest part, to be honest.
How do you do that?
I had to. I had my feet to the fire, and I had to. So what I did, you want to go into that?
Please.
And not answer your question? So what I did is I immediately got on video, which nobody was doing at that point in time.
What year was this?
2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you were way before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I immediately went to social media and was making the process known to people, making it very, very loud that I am not a secret agent. I am a real estate agent, and I would like to help you. And I help people and telling stories. And you want to hear something funny?
Please.
My name is Irish, and it literally means storyteller.
Ah.
So funny, right? It's like written in the stars.
Appropriate. Yeah.
Very appropriate. So that's immediately what I started doing. I met my second week of real estate on Craigslist, which sounds like the scariest thing. I met an investor client, and he was like, yeah, I do a lot of investments if you ever see a good deal. I made it my job to find a good deal for him over and over and over again. And I think I've closed like 40-something things with him over the last 11 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about a repeat client.
Yeah, but he's also referred me so much business. I've helped his children buy homes. I've helped sell his homes for families. So he gives me referrals of his clients all the time. So it turned into be a beautiful relationship, but I try to make all of my relationships be at that level, because to me, that's a symbiotic relationship, and that's like a true relationship rather than just like someone using someone. Your friends, you help pour into your cup together, and that's kind of how I do it.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Honestly, so social media has been incredible. I think it's kind of oversaturated right now.
Yes.
I think that agents are being told, get on social, but they're not being told what. And then they try to emulate the shit that they see on TV, which to me, if I did that, I would be so inauthentic, and I would alienate my people.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what the fuck is this girl doing? Why is she getting out of a Maserati and showing me this house?
Oh, yeah. No.
I drive a pink Barbie Jeep. No, literally, it's pink.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, it has my name all over it.
Believe you.
So authenticity and just translating who I am into their little device that's in their face all the time is just a reminder of like, hey, this is a really good person, and she cares about people, and if you ever need her, she will help you. And that's like the extent of it.
How do you communicate that message?
Authenticity, being who I am, just showing people what I do on a daily basis. Lots of humor. Yeah. I think I've got like a little sarcasm here and there. Really? I'm like, good. I'm British, remember. I know you have to work really hard to pick up on the extra clues, I'm sure. Yeah. It's very difficult.
So back to the whole balance thing.
Yes.
Because getting started is one, so thank you for sharing that, because that's what I think the fail rate is. Well, I don't know how high it is, but most fail in the first 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so social media was big for you. How would you...
So backtrack. Your question was something along the lines of like, how do you balance on a daily basis right now to do what you do,
with
right?
Performing like a freak of nature, yeah.
Freak of nature.
Yeah.
I don't cook. I don't clean. I don't do laundry.
That's a song.
I don't go to the... Yeah, it is. You don't want me to sing the rest. I don't go to the supermarket. I don't go to Walmart. I don't change the cat litter. Right. You know, I have the most supportive partner in the world that picks up where I cannot. Right. I just don't have the bandwidth to do those things.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I don't. And he, you know, he's so supportive and helps and is amazing with the kids. And so he picks up where I leave off. And if my skill set is making money, I'm going to double down on that and do that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And I imagine this is a little bit more personal, but did you guys have to have several conversations on how to structure it?
No, I'm blessed as hell, man.
Just came naturally? Yeah.
No, this man just picks up everything that I am not doing. I've never had to ask for help. I'm very fortunate. Yeah. But this is my second marriage.
Yeah. You had practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and he's a blessing.
Yeah.
He really is.
So how long did you say? 10 years?
We'll be married in 10 years next July. So 9-ish. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In terms of your mantras that you have, not just for yourselves, but for yourself, but for your clients, when it comes to taking action, anything specific that you say over and over to them, or not really?
No, I don't really say too much to my clients unless they really need a lot of therapy. Yeah. But to myself, you know, I always try to redirect myself. If I feel myself getting stressed or worried about something, is control the controllables, and everything else is out of your power, so why are you going to stress over it? I'm very much team get shit done.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
And do the work. And that's, I think, where a lot of people in this industry lack.
Yeah.
Right? So is that grit? I don't know.
Can you be more specific? Without getting catty, I suppose. In terms of what does that look like? I mean, I can say it, right? A lot of people in the industry I know say they're working, but when...
Oh, they're doing busy work.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you define that for me?
I think when you're going to the office for shits and giggles to say I'm going to the office and then you just futz around on the MLS, that's not working. That's not a dollar producing activity. Are you lead generating? I don't think so. Are you actively learning, actively working? No. You know, and that's something that just inherently I'm very disorganized, but like the most organized, disorganized person you've ever met.
How so?
Like I'm very good at like knowing my priorities and doing them, you know, and doing nothing until those priorities are done.
So it comes instinctually to you.
Yeah.
Right. Like you just essentially know where to put your time in.
I'm the oldest of 5 and the only girl, so.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
4 younger brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so how does that translate into prioritizing?
I mean, I think for survival, you have to be able to, you know, you're raised in a frat house sometimes. Yeah, you just, I don't know, inherently, maybe this is just how I'm wired to get shit done.
But did you start off, I mean, you couldn't have known, well, actually, maybe you could have. But from the beginning, did you always, like, understand that concept? I find that some people just don't get it. And the busy work is a classic example in my industry as well. It's like you'll spend 1,000 hours, you know, reviewing the same file over and over again, where you should be networking and reaching out to your database instead. But because it's hard or they don't know how to approach it, they put it off.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that part of the reason why I do it so well is I'm not worried about what people think, right? I don't care if they're like, oh, Shaughnessy called again. Like, that doesn't bother me. Yeah. I'm not worried. I have a theater background. You get really comfortable with rejection really fast,
okay, so
right?
I was actually going to ask where that comes from.
Yeah.
So that's primarily where it's from, or is there another element?
Assume. I don't know. I haven't dissected myself to be like, where did I get this trait from? Who made me like this?
Right.
But I would assume that, you literally in theater, you get up in front of directors or on a stage, an audience, and you're like, hello, this is who I am.
Right.
And this is what I can do. And sometimes they're like, okay, thank you, next. Like, you have to kind of thicken your skin a little bit. And I think that translates really well into a sales position. Although I really don't think that I'm a salesperson at all.
Okay, talk about that a little bit more too. Because I think we are, but we're not salespeople in the traditional sense of the word.
I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate.
What's the difference between an advocate and a salesperson?
Someone who is helping guide people through usually the biggest investment of their life, right. Through the most tumultuous times of their life. I deal with death. I deal with divorce. I deal with families fighting. I deal with financial crisis. Those are all really hard to navigate things.
Especially multiple at the same time, I imagine you deal with as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't really feel that I've ever sold anybody anything. I've guided them. I've consulted them. I really hate that New York State calls it a licensed real estate salesperson. Yeah. I immediately started my broker license because I never wanted to be called a salesperson ever again.
Interesting.
Because I don't feel in my heart that I'm a salesperson. I'm sure I would be great at it, but I don't want someone to feel like they're being sold when they work with me.
I don't think any of us wants us. I mean, there are some people that take pride in it, and a common thing that I say is that we're not that special, regardless of how good we are at what we do. Our clients, most of them, don't wake up, the day of and be like, I'm going to sell, buy a house, refinance. It's been on their mind. They've already made the decision, and they have to work with someone. So it's really on us to show them why they should work with us. I think that's the real difference. And being an advocate is part of that. It's a word that I've heard thrown out in the industry quite a few times, but I've never had it broken down for me like that. So I appreciate it. When it comes to your social media currently, do you use it as a lead generation tool or more so as a top of mind, stay in front of people type thing, or even just an educational thing?
Is there a difference between the two?
To me, there is, yes. Yeah. Yes. So I'll tell you how I do it. Right? I'm not trying to generate leads on social media. I mean, if I had the skill set of, having 100,000 followers and generating, but the thing is, I know mortgage guys that have 100,000 followers and they struggle to close 30 transactions a year. So It doesn't even mean that much. More so, I use it to stay in touch and educate people, right? So I add all my past clients, all the realtors I interact with, home inspectors, attorneys, etc. So it's a way for me to give out information. Now, can leads come through them? Yes, but to me there's a difference between a lead and a referral, right? So those videos are more likely to generate referrals than leads. As you said it yourself, you don't want to convince someone, right, in terms of like selling them on working with you. You want them to realize it through education, value, and advocacy. Same thing on my side, right? So what I'm referring to more so is, do you get a fresh person out of the blue contact you through social and say...
I do.
Yeah. How often does that happen?
Probably once a week.
Oh, that's common.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really common.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've also
Tell us how you do that.
I've been using social media as a tool to lead generate and relationship build for 11 years. Right. It's been a lot of time on task over time. So, yeah, I have people reach out to me out of the blue all the time. But that's because I've put the work in for the last decade, right? It's not like it's like instant overnight for any of this stuff.
But those people reaching out, they're part of your sphere already, or they're cold?
Sometimes they're cold. Hey, I found you because you did this video highlighting a restaurant that I like to go to, and I thought you were funny, so I followed you. So I've been following you for the last 2 years, and me and my husband just got a pre-approval letter. Can you take us out? It'll be like that. Hey, my grandma just died. Can you come meet with me and my mom to sell our house? Right. Like, I've been following you for years. I think you're a good person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's that's like the most beautiful thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's very fascinating about it, because the word that you've used is authentic, right, a couple times, and that's another word where I feel like gets thrown around all the time, and candidly, most people who say it, it's like it's bullshit, right?
Yeah,
but like, you can see through it. Your clients can see through it, and I do think there is a correlation. This is part that fascinates me. There's a correlation between your lack of fear and rejection and your ability to be authentic, because you have that. It could be a combination of tremendous confidence and lack of fear, that gives you permission. And it's essentially why I'm diving deeper on it, is because like people can talk about all the skill sets and the social stuff, but if your foundation isn't there, then you have nothing, right? Your foundation is there, and it gives you the ability to pour yourself in or out. You could say into social, and people can read that, and they pick up on your vibe, your aura, your energy.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah. And I don't think that it's like replicatable, but everybody has their own vibe, their own aura, their own energy.
I'm not saying people should replicate you exactly.
But they should figure out who they are and not be afraid to be that and do that. You know what I mean? But that's a lot of self-work and probably a lot of therapy for a lot of people. Yeah. So they don't do it because it's icky and it feels icky, and they don't want to do it because it's easier to play pretend.
But it's easier, but because I've gone through it too, okay? And it's miserable, and it's a crappy way to live life.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a good time, and being yourself and having, you know, a community of 30 versus being a completely different person is better than having a community of 300, right? And it's also, I say this all the time, it's exhausting too. Like you have more energy, and goes back to what we were saying about the vacations as well, because you're authentically yourself throughout every aspect of your life. It gives you the ability to just keep the momentum going. You don't have to pause and filter and pretend that you're someone else. You just keep going. Yeah. And every time that happens, it essentially stops the magic, right? I have to pretend to be someone else. It's got to be some type of brain or pattern or chemical interrupt.
Well, you get exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that leads to burnout. How often do you burn out?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Used to be a lot more frequently than now. But yeah, I mean, life comes at you. And work is work, and it sucks sometimes. Yeah. Right? So yeah, of course.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And
no, never. Absolutely never. Open. I mean, it's rarely I can't even speak English. Sunshine and rainbows. Yeah. You know, it's a messy industry. You know, I literally am dealing with people at the most stressed out parts of their lives. Yeah. And I've been told I'm the voice of reason. I'm the calm, cool, collected one. It takes a lot of effort. So yeah, I get burned out. And then also what really burns me out is when other people that I'm working with on a deal don't do what they're supposed to do, and I have to clean up their messes. That burns me out. When there's an attorney on the other side that's not doing their job and it turns into a clusterfuck where nobody is happy, that burns me out. But that's to be expected.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we said you can only control what you can control.
Exactly.
Right, and you can't control the lack of their doing their job. Yeah. And I appreciate you not ragging on a loan officer for the sake of that, by the way.
That's the next line I was going to say. Wah, wah, wah.
I shouldn't have said anything.
But, this industry would be a lot nicer if everybody kind of, did the work.
Oh, yeah.
But it's it's very easy to get into yours and my field. And
Yes.
there's a very low threshold for the definition of success. You know, it's an interesting industry. Maybe not so much you guys, but the realtors.
Exactly.
The realtors are set against each other. They're supposed to compete and cooperate in the same thing. And sometimes on different transactions, it's simultaneously, and you're wearing this hat here and this hat here. It can become really insane.
So how do you handle that? Because
Well,
I feel like just speaking to you, it's not something that really bothers you that much.
no, because I always do the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? I play nice in the sandbox. The end. Period. And then that doesn't come back to bite you because everyone likes and trusts me. I have friends that work for other companies that are asking me to cover for them while they're on vacation or having an emergency with their family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have an office full of people. But yes, I will.
Yeah, because they trust
But they
you more.
trust me. And
Right.
and to me, that means everything, right? I know that my clients get accepted offers because it's me. Not always because they have the best offer, but because it's me.
You got a secret sauce to that you want to share?
No, the agents know that the deal's going to close and there's going to be no bullshit. They're like, I don't know who's bringing this other offer. This is weird. But this girl's solid.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this girl will get the job done. I've worked with her before. Take their offer.
So you're saying your reputation as well carries weight. It helps you be more efficient.
For
not
sure.
just for yourself, for your clients to get their
Yes,
offers
yeah,
accepted.
for sure.
Yeah. It's
And
it's a
I
prime
pride
example.
I pride myself in that because I work really
As you
hard
should.
to have the reputation that I have.
Yeah.
You know, I always try to be as good as I ever could be. I want to sleep at night without people saying, "Oh, that girl fucked me over."
Right.
There's nothing to gain by doing that. Like I couldn't live like that.
There's no sense in burning bridges.
Yeah.
For the sake
Yeah.
of burning bridges.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why, like, I don't know if you know this, but Real Broker is a virtual company.
Yes.
And before that, I was with another virtual company for a long time. So way before COVID, before everybody was like, oh my God, I could work from home. We were working from home. Because it just made sense as an independent contractor. Why am I going somewhere and giving up so much of my commission and to go to an office with all this overhead? So
Yeah.
I made the most money at these kind of companies, but these companies also like reward you for agent attraction,
Got it.
which by nature of just doing business and doing the right thing, agents kind of want to be close to you sometimes, right?
I did want to ask you, do you have, I know what you're referring to is more so like recruitment, right? But do you have a team or are you...
I'm on a team.
Oh,
I'm on a team. Yeah, I work with my mother and
Oh, no way.
a bunch of other agents that are full-time and part-time. You know, those numbers are my numbers. That's what I do. It's a very non-traditional team, but it works for us because we treat each other like a family.
How is it non-traditional?
You know, it's not like reading the Gary Keller Millionaire Real Estate Agent where you have like the Rainmaker and this, that, all the structure and stuff like that. No one's assigning leads. Everybody has their own book of business, and we work together to help support each other in ways that other people are not.
Sounds more
So,
like a,
like a family.
I hate this word, but like mastermind collaborative type thing. You're
A
not,
collective. Let's call it
Yeah.
a collective. That sounds bougie.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Bougie's nice. I like
Bougie.
bougie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you picked up on that.
The British bouge.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about a rebrand. Then we have it, Eric. I had a question. It's a fairly boring question, but I'm actually genuinely interested. What does your typical day look like?
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a morning person. So I try to sleep in as late as I can.
You're in the right business for that.
No, my phone starts ringing at 7 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yes. So I usually get up and out of the house by 10, usually. Yeah, but I get to make my own schedule, so I
Any special
backload it.
morning routine, meditation, gratitude, any of that?
No, I just try to live in perpetual gratitude. No, I too much ADHD to like have a organized schedule. It's like I get up and I'm like flying by the seat of my pants, and
Well,
I have a paper. Oh, you know, I have it in the car.
The reason I ask it, Shaughnessy, is because the more I talk to people, I interview quite a lot of successful and mid-tier And the difference between them is typically that the mid-tier has some type of routine that takes 2 hours every morning, 3 hours every morning. And the most successful ones just get up and do the fucking work.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I do. Yeah.
So I love that.
I just need a lot of Dunkin' Donuts to like get there, but
yeah. You cold brew gal or
iced lattes are my jam. Okay. Yeah. And
that's all it takes.
One day
routine,
Dunkin' will pick me up
Dunkin'
as an influencer.
I was just gonna say
I pretty
that,
much like
you read my mind. This clip may do it.
Could you imagine?
Post it, invite them as a collaborator.
Hello, Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. Thank you.
1 mil right here.
Just give me free coffee. They'll be happy.
That's way too generous.
I have one nugget to share. I think that people get so caught up in saying no for themselves.
In saying no or not saying no?
In saying no for everyone else. But they end up saying no to themselves. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, but
okay. So people are so busy about worrying of what everyone else is going to think. They're like, no, I'm not going to post that video. I look ugly. No, I'm not going to do that. I sound horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to post this video because I'm fat. Like, people don't give a fuck.
Yes.
They already know what you look like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Stop. Yeah. Like, why are you saying no for your audience? Why are you giving yourself the no before you even have the chance to ask?
Right.
So I wish that my wish for humans is that they just remember that they're human.
Yeah.
And stop pretending and just start being. And I think the world will open up for them if they're themselves.
That's a lovely nugget, and I'm going to expand on that because it's something that Eric's heard me say a million times. But like you said it very clearly, like no one gives a fuck, right? You're not that special, you know. I think, and I don't say that in this like negative.
Yeah, it's not derogatory.
Way. Yeah. It's like we're people living lives, and at the end of the day, we are real estate broker, mortgage broker. We're not like cancer curing surgeons where people are so, I mean, like what we do is important, right? I don't want to downplay because it is a very important transaction in people's lives, but in terms of interest and uniqueness, there are hundreds of thousands of us, sometimes there's millions, you know. So just again, putting yourself out there is easier. As you said it 20 minutes ago, it's one of the best ways to attract your people, to attract your tribe, and you can't do that by being inauthentic. So that is one of the many nuggets. One of the ones that stuck out for me, which I'll repeat, is how having the foundation of your own confidence and knowing who you are, which you did specifically say before, allows you to essentially go all out in your business. You can have all the skills, you can make all the cold calls you want, or whatever the case may be, however you generate business. But my theory after listening to you is that it all comes off, it's not a crazy theory, it all comes off in the way you communicate to people, right? And people pick up on your energy and your authenticity, and that is what glues them to you. So to give an example, if the average if the average mortgage broker, agent has to call a client 15 times to get them to work with them together, for you it's probably 0, right? They're reaching out to you already ready to work with you, or
Very
it's
often.
one conversation.
Yeah.
Right, so I think that's one of the most powerful things. And then to essentially finish off that thought, another thing that you said was that it takes work, takes self-reflection. In many cases, it may take therapy, lots and lots and lots of therapy. And I have mixed feelings about therapy. I think in some cases it's wonderful. In some cases it can just force you to ruminate on nothing or relive the same thing. I think having a good therapist is key and very, very hard to find. So I'm not saying just go for any therapist, but the bottom line is do the work, right? So fix your foundation. If your foundation is fixed and the other aspects of your life line up, you will find success not just in business but everywhere. And it essentially, it is an ecosystem, and they all feed each other, every single aspect of your life. So thank you for sharing and opening that up and reminding. So, of course, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. We genuinely hope that you enjoyed it and you got as much out of it as I did. We would love to hear your thoughts. Please like, comment, subscribe, email, carrier pigeon, whatever makes you happy. Thank you very much.